Alright, what is up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at a game from the East in the OP-06 format. We're going to be looking at a game of Yamato versus Enel. And I should have said the other way around, I guess, right? Because we've got Enel on the left and Yamato on the right. And guys, ultimately, this is the final game of the most recent large-scale tournament from the East, at least at the time we were recording this video and everything. As you can see right here, this was from 2 days ago, right down here. So let's go ahead. Whoops, hit the wrong thing over there. Let's go ahead and just dive straight in. All right, so we're at the beginning of the game, and I want to show their opening hands real quick. Okay, it looks like they're going to have to mulligan. Or, well, okay, it looks like the Enel player is going to have to mulligan, but the Yamato player actually got a starting hand that looks just like a hand that you'd have in Enel. We got the 2-cost Shura, this is the Searcher, the 5-cost Gidatsu, 7-cost Enel, 2-cost Nami, this is a Straw Hat Crew, and then the 0-cost 3K counter where you trash a card to get 3K. Okay, now let's go ahead and see. That's a pretty good starting hand, right? Especially, you know, just in general, it's got a decent curve. It doesn't have like a 2-4-6 curve that's great, but if he goes second, he'll be able to play Shura, and then turn 2, he'll be able to follow up with Nami or whatever he found from Shura, and he'll be able to go from there. So it's definitely not a bad pull. Okay, now on the other side of the table here, we have Beige, 7-Lin, Kikinojo, who's a Yamato, or Yamato, and then Onami. This is the alt-art Onami. Very cool. Okay, so not a horrible hand, but also not a great hand. I think this is a decent going second hand, but a kind of subpar going first hand. So let's see who gets to go first and second. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys, had to fast forward that. Okay, and the Enel goes first. That's not fortunate. That's not lucky. Not ideal, I should say. Okay, so starts off again, the Yamato player is playing a list that looks just like Enel's, right? We got Gidatsu, Shura, the Searcher, and everything. The very interesting Sky Island variant of Yamato. And in this search, there's only one card we can get. It's one of the Gidatsus, right? Because you cannot grab himself in the search. And Onami is actually a Straw Hat Crew. And then the 7-cost character there is Hody Jones. Okay, so he's going to grab a Gidatsu for sure, no doubt about it. No other even option. Excuse me. And now turn 2, Enel, he is just going to swing sideways for 9. Or 8, excuse me, I can't even do math. And he takes it. So the Yamato player takes it, and let's see what he gets. It was a Momonosuke, the 5-cost blocker that can put a Land of Wano character on top or bottom of your life. Or maybe it's just the top, I can't remember. But anyway, I'm surprised the Enel player did not play out the Onami there to force a 2K counter out of hand, just to try to get this game as far into this game as he can, because this hand is not great from the Enel player. Okay, let's see what we get. Turn 2 for the Yamato is going to go, and it looks like he has 2 Onamis now. He drew one of these, so I think you just develop an Onami and you swing for 7, right? Just swing 7 with double attack and banish. I think that's kind of how the deck was meant to be played, right? That is the natural curve of running Yamato. Okay, so he's going to attach 2 to his leader, use the 2, well, he's going to pay 2 to summon Onami, or to cast it, and then he's going to give his leader banish, and attach the remaining 2 Dawn, and swing 7, double attack, banish. Okay, he's going to use a 2K and a 1K counter here to get out of that. And okay, so maybe that is why he sat back on the Onami, knowing he did not have enough counter power in hand to stop that attack. Because if you look at his hand, okay, now he draws Momonosuke for the turn. That is not ideal, but it is a blocker. It is at least a blocker. So let's see what happens here. Swing for 6. Okay, so he's going to play the 4-cost character. We know that right away. We know his play. And I'm sure the Yamato player sees it as well. Like, okay, you're leaving 4 Dawn open. Well, that's got to be Kikinojo, because that's like kind of the new 4-drop. Unless he's running Cracker or Ohm or some variant of that. So let's see what he chooses to do here. Swing 6. He does take it. Oh, wow. And he gets a Satori off the top. Gets a 5-cost, 5k trigger, play this card by trashing a card from hand into play. Okay. So very, very, very fortunate from the Yamato player, the Yamato player. He just got a body he did not have to pay for, and he's just going to trash a card from hand he probably won't even end up using, or he wouldn't even have ended up using. Because did you see that? I'm sorry, guys, we have to go back. Look, he has 2 7 costs in his hand. He has the Enel, or the Enel, and the Hody Jones. Well, you're going to run. Typically speaking, you're going to play the Hody Jones out over the Enel because it's going to allow you to tap down any blockers and get through like that. But not to say Enel's bad. It's just that in this situation, I think you just obviously take the Hody Jones, and then he gets this free body into play, and the Kikinojo follow up. Just like we expected, just like was telegraphed. And let's see what happens. So now the Yamato player is on 6 Dawn. And he is going to want to hit a double attack here soon. Obviously, right? He has the other Onami. And here we go. Swing for 9 with double attack and banish. And, oh, he gets a 7 Lin and a 9 cost. Is this... I'm sorry about the quality, guys. It says 1080, but it seems a little low. But he gets a 7 Lin. I rewinded it real quick. 7 Lin and a 9 cost Yamato. Because he has no counters in hand. Like, look at this. There is not a single counter in his hand. This is a worst case scenario, right? This is and not to mention, even if there was no banish on Yamato, it doesn't even matter because those cards didn't have counters on them. So, all right, so let's see what happens. He swings in with Satori. He gets Yamato. Now, understand this. He could have used his leader's effect to attach to Onami and swing for 5k more. But he doesn't want his opponent to be able to start cycling cards from his life with his leader's effect yet. You know, it all makes sense, right? Because I'm pretty... Yeah, that's a 2-cost 3k, Onami is. Alright, so let's see what was drawn. Oh gosh, another reject. Okay. Okay, so this does not look good. I feel like you have to establish a blocker right here. Let me pause it. And I feel like last turn he should have just tried to establish a blocker, to be completely honest. Not to say it would have stuck. I'm sure there's something that could have been done, or maybe he would have used it to block out of that 9k attack. But at least you wouldn't have your cards banished. I don't know, because we don't know that it's going to be a Yamato and a 7 Lin. It's still, logically, it follows that you'd want to save that. But regardless, now you really want to play a blocker, right? Because there is no counters in hand, and you have no way to... Well, okay, he does have a way to gain life if he plays 7 Lin, if his opponent lets him gain life, which, who's to say that will even happen? So let's see what happens. Let's see what his choice is. Okay, yeah, those are his only 2 options. Or, is there a second option? Hang on, let me go back. Let me pause it. Okay. Could he try to go for lethal since he has reject that can take off a life? If he swings for 5 right here, and his opponent gets greedy, can he still not even win? I still don't think he would win. Because he has a 2k counter right here, a 1k, and maybe that would allow him to win depending on what he would top deck here. So what I was going to say is this. If you swung for 5k and your opponent says, sure, I'll take it. Okay, well, with 7 Dawn active, I'll pay 4, and I will reject your final life, which will allow him to draw his final life. The Enel player will. And then you just load up 3 on your Kikinojo and swing 9. That would be his only chance, and that's assuming he wouldn't counter out or draw into enough counters. That's the only other line of logic other than playing the Lin, risking the gain life, or just playing a blocker and swinging for 7. I think you swing first right here no matter what. I think that's the first thing you do. Or swing 5 maybe, or swing 6. Wait, what? Okay, so... okay, I personally, I would swing first in this situation. Personally, I would. Even if it was at Satori. I don't even think swinging at Satori is like a bad call here. Just to either, filter cards out of his hand, and then swing 6 at him. He might just let it go then. Now there's one less character to deal with. And then you could play this card out if you want to. You can do that. right? Or, like I said, here's what I probably would have done. I would have just gone 6 into Satori by attaching 1, swing 6 into Satori. He might 2K counter out, then put 1 on Kikinojo, swing 7 into Satori. He's going to let it go. Play out 5 cost Momonosuke, put your Kikinojo back on top of your life. That's the route that I would have taken personally. But I don't know. Well, all right, let's see. Let's just see what happens here. Let's see what happens. So he's probably going to take the life, right? Or actually, he might give his opponent a life because he has 4 bodies. I don't even think it matters. Okay, he's going to take the life. And by the way, there's the 2K counter. So yeah, the attack I was saying to try to just go for lethal by swinging 9 at face wouldn't have worked anyway because there's a 2K counter right off the top. Okay, so let's see what happens. So it's going to be attack. Where is he swinging? It doesn't matter. It's 5. Satori has 5,000 power and so does the leader. So 5 at here, 1K counter out. 6 at wherever, 2K counter out. He just already knows, like, no, I'm keeping all my bodies on the board. I'm not losing any more life. I'm just going to win the game this turn if I have to, you know, or at least that's what it seems like. And now, of course, this guy on the right does not know his opponent's hand, but there is not a single counter in his hand. Not one. Not one counter is in his hand. All right, so let's see if he can get anything from the top. Everything is going to depend on this life trigger right here. Everything is going to depend on this. Okay. Remember, we are on 2x speed, guys. So this is sped up. They're just taking a little minute to think here. Swing for 7 at life. No counter. Now his opponent probably has a feeling like, okay, you don't have anything, do you? Now, he does understand how Enel's... Whoa, what was that? It was a Kikinojo. Okay, I would have played it just for the threat. To make it seem like, yeah, I'm confident in my hand. I'm going to toss this. So he trashes the Yamato to get the Enel's leader effect. Okay, and let's see what happens. He is really thinking currently. He is really thinking right now. Swing for 7 at life again. Since 7 got through the first time, let's see if it does again. And it does. And what was that? That was a... beige? No, oh, it's the 2K, the new Land of Wano 2K. Hiyori, I think her name is. Okay, so now he has a 200 million volts Amaru in his hand right now. That gives plus 3,000. It gives plus 3,000 attack for the turn and taps down a 4-cost character. That part doesn't matter if you have 1 or less life. And then he's going to put it on Onami. So she goes to 6, go to 8, and then use Yamato's effect. That was beautiful. Real quick, did y'all see what happened? So, pay 2 to give your character the plus 3,000 from Amaru, right? 200 million volts Amaru. Use your leader's effect to put the 2 Dawn you just rested to pay for Amaru onto the character, and then put the remaining 2 Dawn that was left on the character as well. Onami, a 2-cost 3K is swinging for 10,000 damage. The game is over. Yep, good game. So, so that was an interesting game. I think there was only one line of play that could have worked here, where it actually would have rewarded the player on the left here, the Enel player, for playing out this Kikinojo early. Because I didn't think this was a good play early, I'm not going to lie. I just didn't think it was. But it would have actually rewarded him here, where he could have just... Like I said, so in this situation, 7 Dawn is active, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You just put 1 on Enel, swing 6 at Satori, see what happens, and then swing 7, put 1 on Kikinojo, and then swing 7 at Satori if he did not get KO'd from the Enel attack, or swing 7 at life. Either one is fine, right? Then, with your remaining 5 Dawn, you play Momonosuke, which will allow you to put your Kikinojo on the top of your life to gain a life, and now you have a 5-cost 6,000 power blocker. That will definitely have bought him time to go to the next round, I feel like. I could be wrong, we'll have to see, but I'm pretty sure that would have at least gave him one more chance, and that's not even to, for sure, give him the game there. Because let's look at the hand. Let me go back right to the beginning of this turn. Sorry, guys. I know I'm jumping all around. Hang on. Okay, so when he untaps, he does have Hody Jones in hand with 8 Dawn. So, again, let's just pretend this is where he got KO'd because we were going to swing 6 and then 7 into it. So if this gets KO'd, all of a sudden you no longer can even tap down the Momonosuke with your 200 million volts of Maru, because either A, they wouldn't have even been on 1 life, or B, they would have, you know, your blocker's a 5 cost character. So they'd have to use Hody Jones to tap down your character to draw the card from the top of their life, and then tap down tap down and swing through like that. But you'd have 2 life. And did you see what both of the life cards were? Both life cards were Kikanojos. Like his one you would have put on there from here, and this final life of his cards is a Kikanojo. Very, very interesting line of play here, and very interesting game. Very fast game, by the way. Let me fast forward and see how long this game was. It only lasted about 8.5 minutes. That's wild, guys. 8, I think. Let me see. It's 30-minute games, right? Yes, 30-minute game. So it was an 8.5-minute game. Very brutal. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the lists here. First, we'll look at Enel's list, because I still think that was a good list, and I think he actually could have won that game if he played a little differently. And y'all saw it in his hand. He didn't get a single 2K counter. No, excuse me. He got 1 beige 2K counter, and that was it. That was it, guys. 1 beige. And let's see how many 2K counters he runs. 4 Sanjis, 4 beige, and 4 Hiyori right here. So 12 2K counters, and he doesn't run the 0 cost counter like the Yamato player was running. And then even triggers. He didn't even get it. Like a Shirahoshi trigger would have been nice, a Brule trigger. He got an Okiku trigger. A 200 million volts of Maru trigger would have been nice. An Impact trigger would have been nice. Something along these lines. But yeah, it just didn't come to fruition for him, unfortunately. Even like a Katakuri, well, no, I don't know. He only got to 7 Dawn. Guys, he only got to 7 Dawn before the game was over. You have to think of how fast this game actually was. Which, is there something to be said there? What do y'all think about Yamato? Is it just too fast, guys? So like, here's the Yamato list. It's a straight Enel list. Why even run Enel if this ends up being a stronger list? Now, again, I do think the Enel player could have played that better, and he also got a horrible pull. Just a straight up atrociously bad pull. But this green-yellow Yamato list looks excellent. 4 Ohm, 4 Gadatsu. He's running 2 little Enels. I think I would just be running the 4 Hody. Well, I don't know. Okay, he's running 4 and 2. I thought he might have been running like 2 and 2 or 3 and 2. 4 Hody Jones is definitely the right call. For those who don't know what this does, 7 cost, 8K Rusher. Rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn. Then put the top of your life cards into your hand. So just, it actually draws you a card technically, even though it's from your life. And you're resting 2 characters that are blockers. It doesn't even matter what their Dawn is. Like how, you know, how big the character is. It's running this little package here I've talked about. This little 10 card, or, well, it looks like they're running as a 9 card package. Momonosuke, Hiyori, and Okiku. This little package here is just incredible. So Okiku is a 4 cost 6K. If your opponent's life is 3 or less, place the top card of your deck to the top of your life. And this is not on play, sorry guys, this is on KO. It's on KO. And then trigger, if your opponent has 3 or less life, just play this card. So that was what I was saying that the Enel player should have done. Since he had Momonosuke in hand, just smash him with Okiku, or Akikanojos, I think is what her actual name is back here. And then you can place up to one of your Wano-type characters other than Kazuki Momonosuke on the top or bottom of your life pile face up. So you see how that could have bought him an extra turn and just potentially generated the amount of tempo they needed to win the game. Because remember, the way Enel wins is off the top of his life, right? That's just kind of how that happens. You know, you still need to make good plays, but you guys get what I'm saying there. That's how he generates advantage. And it runs, he didn't get any ohms, didn't get any Gadats, or excuse me, yeah, the Yamato, excuse me. Was the other guy, the other guy was not running ohm. That's interesting. I actually like the other Enel list better than this one. Like the Yamato's Enel list over this one. Excuse me. This is almost like a Big Mom Pirates, Sky Island, Land of Wano hybrid deck. Whereas this list is pretty much just Sky Island. It's almost just exclusively Sky Island with a little bit of mixture of Wano Oh yeah, Izo is also Wano, by the way. Wano Country. I think that's the same that Momonosuke can put on top of Life if needed. And then it does have the Hody Jones, obviously, because it's green. And it does have the Onami, just because Onami's crazy in this deck. It's just crazy, period, right? It's Lightning Bolt on trigger. Just awesome. Well, all right, guys, that's about it. If you got any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. And, yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.